Hello and welcome to another episode. This time round we are covering the film Gremlins. My name is Stencil Artist Jan and I'm joined by Peephole Circus. Hello.
Hello.
I'm going to start with your favourite, what I think is your favourite part. It may or may not be. People who were auditioned but didn't get the part in the film Gremlins.
Yeah, you know this is my favourite bit.
Billy, the main character in Gremlins.
Yeah.
One of the people who were considered for the role was Judd Nelson.
Oh, that would have been weird though. He's too. Well, he was about 45 in the Breakfast Club, wasn't he?
Yes, he was very old. Everybody else in that was about 17, and he was a good 25, 28 years old by that film. But
he was the cool kid though, wasn't he?
Yeah, the mean kid who smoked his cigarettes with his long coat at the end, arm up in the air. Don't you forget about me.
He looks like a school shooter now. They couldn't pull that off anymore, could they?
I don't know what he looks like now.
Well, I don't mean he looks like that now, but in Breakfast Club he did, with the long trench coat and things. Not a good look, is it?
Not these days.
No.
You wouldn't get away with that these days.
That's a weird choice for Billy as well, because that role works because he's quite a nerdy kind of looking guy, isn't he?
Yes. The other person was Emilio Estevez, who I think would be far too cool.
Yeah, he is. He's way too cool, like a repo man. Do you know? You couldn't put him in Gremlins.
Did you probably know this because you know quite a lot about film, but Emilio Estevez's brother is Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
I always thought they were step brothers.
No, he just took his mother's name, didn't he?
Charlie Sheen took Michael Sheen's name and Emilio Estevez took their mother's name. They don't look anything alike though.
No.
Do you remember Mr. Wing, the man who owned the curiosity shop at the beginning of Gremlins?
Yeah.
Do you know who was seriously considered for the role of Mr. Wing?
No.
This would not fly today at all. John Pertwee of Doctor Who fame.
You mean Wurzel Gummidge? If he was dressed up as Wurzel Gummidge and tried to pass him off as some crazy old Chinese guy. That's probably it's as likely they would pull that off as having him as that guy, isn't it?
Yeah, these days I don't think they'll be able to get away with that.
I can sort of see it working because they did that a lot with people, made them Chinese. Like in Remo, Armed and Dangerous, the Chinese guy in that was not actually Chinese.
What I didn't realise is until somebody told me, you know the Indian guy from Short Circuit?
Yes, I know.
He wasn't Indian either.
No, he's Chinese.
I don't know if he was Chinese. Well, he may have been, and if they did something to him to make him darker skin, but that seems to happen a lot back in the day.
But you got Christopher Lee as Fu Manchu.
Yes, that is true. But was that more because of his ominous? Do you see what I mean? You want somebody scary. He's the go-to guy.
Well, it's something to do. Yeah, you need a presence, which is why they wanted Pertwee to be the guy who got the present in the first one from Gremlins.
Well, yeah, exactly. I know you always think Frank Oz has something to do with anything to do with puppets.
Yeah, that guy is always up to mischief, up to no good. Mark my words, one day it'll all come out.
He wasn't in this one, but Stripe was voiced by Frank Welker. Welker. Okay.
Go on.
He was Kermit on Muppet Babies.
Oh, don't get me started on Muppet Babies.
I had a feeling this was going to be one of your trigger points. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, so I don't know which is worse. I probably like Stripe more than I prefer the Kermit Muppet Babies. Adult Kermit is a chill guy. But I don't know. The Muppet Babies they're all creepy.
It's a strange show, Muppet Babies. That means that Muppets are born
or hatched from an egg. No, but it doesn't explain that unless that maid woman who walks around, the nanny, the only one you see, the only other character apart from the Muppet Babies is the nanny. Maybe she's a mother. Maybe she lays the eggs.
This has taken a darker turn.
It makes your dreams come true.
It does. Well, it makes their dreams come true, being hatched out of an egg.
Yeah, but they do the same for you.
Do you then get voiced by Stripe from Gremlins?
Well, as long as that's the thing. You get the eggs and they hatch, remember, into Gremlins.
Oh, it's all making sense now, as you say.
All adding up.
The fictional town of Kingston Falls, which Gremlins is set, is actually exactly the same set as Hill Valley and Back to the Future.
Is it? Are they set in the same time? Obviously, Back to the Future is a lot. That's a minefield when we get to time. But could Marty McFly have been like, "Oh shit, Gremlins"?
Yeah, in theory, it's the same town.
Oh my God, I bet Frank Oz lives there.
And allegedly the cinema, I'd have to watch this back, but the cinema which blows up, I'm pretty sure is the cinema that they crash into in Back to the Future.
It could be.
So which one of those two things happened first in the timeline?
Well, maybe Gremlins happened and Marty McFly went back and saved everyone, or
Yes.
Doc, but we never heard about it because it's different. It's changed now. The timeline is dead.
Oh.
I'm sure there's a bit in Gremlins where you can see the clock tower and Doc swinging from it like Tarzan, like he does. I think.
Or there was, and they went back and changed it.
They did. 88 miles per hour.
Kate's infamous "There's no Santa Claus" monologue
Oh,
was
yeah,
classed as too dark and was almost cut from the film because the film is very dark, and it was one of the reasons why they created the PG-13 and the 12 certificate over here.
I liked the film. You know, when it came out, it was great. It was like that and Ghostbusters and everything, I think.
Yeah,
and
that as well.
I remember when it came out on video, I was in junior school at the time. And I was, the older class, probably my last year or something. I can't remember. It was raining one day, and for a treat, the teachers figured it'd be a good idea to gather the whole school together in the hall, and it'd be a treat for us. We all get to watch Gremlins.
Oh,
of
wow.
course, and they put it on. And it weren't long before the kids started crying, the juniors. They were terrified. Kids had to be evacuated like it was a world war or something. It's crazy. All crying as well. Because once one of them start, they all start. They're like Pringles.
It's hysteria kicks in, doesn't it?
It does. Make them scared. Makes it more fun.
Doing your Stripe voice. Doing your Frank Welker voice as Stripe.
Well, doing my Kermit the Frog one, yeah.
I know this is actually your favourite thing. An early attempt, they were going to use monkeys to play the Gremlins.
Again.
Yep.
Please tell me Frank Oz isn't involved with this again, because he's forever. He'll just grab a cat and stick something to it, or a monkey, give him a wig. Yeah, there we go, Yoda.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. How did they ever even? Oh.
There's always a monkey. They always go, you know what? Let's not just use a puppet. Let's go get some monkeys.
It doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me at all. The amount of times monkeys are in films, I know everybody likes monkeys, but if you're doing special effects and stuff, and it's your go-to solution to everything, we need a green monster with stripy hair. Have you thought about using a monkey?
Allegedly, the test monkeys panicked when they tried to stick the gremlins' heads over the top of them. And they went crazy and started shitting all over the place.
You can't blame them. It sounds like a lot like the school viewing we had.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe they got confused.
Yeah, to this day, I think we were a test audience after it came out on VHS somehow. But yeah, maybe that's the Back to the Future element coming back in.
Exactly. It's they took that out to Wales, and they're like, no, we've got to take it back to Hollywood, back 3 years.
Yeah, scrap the monkeys.
Yeah, get those monkeys out of there. It's scaring the kids too much. Talking about these films being quite scary, the original script was actually a lot more graphic, and they had to cut it back. The Gremlins were going to eat Billy's dog, decapitate his mother, and throw her head down the stairs at him.
That'd been great. I wish we'd seen that. And
there was going to be a whole scene with, the old lady on the electric stair lift thing?
Everybody's favourite bit. A guaranteed laugh is nothing funnier than an old lady zipping around the stairs, smash through the window. Serves her right.
Serves her right for buying one of those Stenner stair lifts, I guess.
It's one of the best bits, isn't it? Her who opens the door, all the Gremlins Christmas caroling. Yeah.
That's a great bit as well.
I'm not surprised because didn't Joe Dante direct it?
Yes, I believe so. I haven't got it written down here, but I have seen his name here somewhere. Yes,
Joe Dante, because he's the director of The Howling, isn't he? And he does a lot of horror stuff. He's done some great Twilight Zone episodes as well. He did the airplane one with John Lithgow in Twilight Zone the movie as well, didn't he?
And that is a gremlin.
That is another gremlin as well, yeah.
Isn't it? That ties into the story. I can't remember the guy's name when he was fighting in Korea, and they had the gremlins on were attacking the fighter aircraft. That's his little story, isn't it?
I think they were monkeys, but you could be right.
They could have been monkeys, mate. See, you never know with these things. You never know. Yeah. My last point here is a bit of a strange one. Mr. Wing, which now we know was almost played by John Pertwee of Doctor Who fame.
Yeah.
There was a drink well, not drink driving, anti-drink driving public service advert with him in it.
But was he trying to sell you a gremlin? What?
I
Don't drink and drive. Buy a gremlin.
Or a mogwai. Maybe this is it. Don't drink and drive, otherwise your mogwai will turn into a gremlin while you're going along. I've tried to find this video, but I can't. So it's either been scrubbed from history or it never existed in the first place. Yeah, Back to the Future again.
Marty McFly and Doc ruined it. Do you know what? I hate that film, and I hate Doc and Marty for ruining the best moments of history.
Released the non Back to the Future cut of everything.
I want to see monkeys.
Yep.
Everything. In fact, I think we should replace Back to the Future with that we should talk about a Back to the Future episode and how much we hate them.
We can do that. We can do Back to the Future. That's not a problem. Well, that could be free. Do you know what else had a don't drink and drive advert? Star Wars.
Red Stripe of Star Wars.
Red Stripe. Star Wars had a don't drink and drive set in the cantina.
I like the way they advertise don't drink and driving by showing you a nice bar with lovely drinks and no droids.
Yeah, no droids allowed.
I didn't feel sorry when he said to C-3PO, no droids allowed. I was glad. It's like, we got a couple of minutes peace at last away from them.
But then again, no, sorry, I got confused and I was going to say there was a droid serving behind the bar, but there isn't, is there? Yeah, no, there is no droids in that because he says no droids. That makes sense. Why would you want droids cluttering up the place, not buying any drinks?
But Artie, you can come in. You're cool. You're fine. I put my hand up as C-3PO. I said, look, you've done nothing but moan for the last 20 minutes of the film. You're staying put. Oh, they should have put some gremlins in the cantina. Greedo looks like a gremlin. It's not far off. They put Stripe in there. Or a Mogwai instead of the werewolf character. We haven't talked about the Mogwais, but they're pretty cute. But at the same time, I wouldn't want one as a pet, would you?
Well, no, because you're constantly on the verge of having a murderous creature come out of them.
And another point they don't bring up in the film. Mogwais house trained. Do they use the toilet? Do you have to have a little potty for him? How does that work? Because he's all cute when he's got a little piano. He's all like do 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 do. Excuse me, I'm just going to go for a dump. Where's the shitter? And is he has he got a litter tray like a cat? So he just sort of squats and scratching all day. Just don't know.
I don't know. I don't know because when you actually think about it, he can drive a car.
He can. So he can drive a car, so he must be house trained. Does he use toilet paper?
These are questions they don't. Maybe they're going to cover it in Gremlins 3, which allegedly is in pre-production.
What and how does he clean himself? So a Mogwai, right? If you've got a Mogwai and how do you wash them? And so, well, they don't wash them. They wash themselves like a cat or a dog, right? They lick themselves. So what happens at 12:05? The Mogwai's there. What's his name? Gizmo. Gizmo's laying there. It's 12:05. Gizmo's there and having a bit of a clean. He's licking his balls like a cat does.
Yes.
Next thing you know, pop, pop, pop. He's got his little extra ones because he's all wet. Ridiculous.
It's not well thought out, these rules, really, are they?
No, I blame Wurzel Gummidge.
Well, he should have given out more rules. Actually, did he even say the rules?
Yeah, you hear him saying the rules as he's carrying him. The thing is, when you're watching a film, it sounds like he's remembering all the rules as he's walking away.
Yeah.
In reality, he was just walking away, and he was saying, as he was saying, he was like, "Yeah, whatever."
Yeah, old man, I'm out of here. I've got to get home.
You carry on smoking and use my little ashtray that I gave you. Jobs are good. And good night.
Yeah, another sale. But there is a strange thing about that film. When you watch the first part of it, when he's talking to Mr. Wing, he talks about his son like he's 12 years old. It's really strange. He's like, oh, my boy's at home and he's really into this. Oh, he'd love this for his Christmas present. And then his son's like 19 years old and works at a bank.
He does as well. I thought maybe it was one of them things. You know, they like we just said, they cast people who are about 50 for like a 14-year-old. So maybe he was supposed to be like a 6-year-old. And they got a 20-something to play the 6-year-old. Makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, but why does he work at a bank? He's a banker. He must be earning like $2 million a year working in a bank.
Yeah, people just literally give you money. And there's a bonus. Thank you very much. I'll put it in my little safe.
Yeah, I'll put it in my pocket. Oh, I'm going to put it in that safe. Oh, that's how a bank works. And his best friend's like 12 years old.
He is, yeah. Corey Feldman.
Lost
from Stand
Boys.
By Me and
Oh.
Lost Boys, yeah. And
But-
Friday the 13th Part 4. The best film he's ever been in.
I was just trying to think. I saw a film with him in it quite recently. Well, when I say recently, in the last 10 years, you know how time changes. Anything in the last 10 years becomes like quite recently. But yeah, the whole film, it's like they wrote the script and then they wrote another half of a script and then they went, we need him to be able to drive. Well, he's got to be this age, but we also need to give him a job. Oh, well, we'll put him in a bank. What?
I think it matters. It worked as a film anyway, didn't it? It was good fun.
Yeah, it was a great film. It was a great film. And on that, we'll end the show. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much, Peephole Circus. Do you want to say anything?
Good night.
Good night. Please like, subscribe, and ring the bell.